Here I am talking about how I have used codes and conventions from an existing media product. The media product that I'm going to use is the NSPCC, and I am looking at both our home pages first of all. So this is my home page, and this is the NSPCC homepage. As you can see, there are many differences if you look at first glance, and they look pretty much nothing alike. But what you can see here especially is a navigation bar. These are very useful for finding your way around websites. As you can see here, I've also used the navigation bar. They're quite similar, the layout. They both have a border around them. Again here, a border. There's a search bar here that I have used, and again, a search bar here. There is a video here, it hasn't been included. NSPCC haven't got a video, but they have got a changing advertisement clip for their charity. I have a brief bit of writing and links, many links. Here, a brief bits of writing, links to different places, little thumbnail with some photos. I've used photos as well. Here, my number is here in the corner, and on the NSPCC they have the Childline number over here, which is their company that they use. The next page in my website is the donation page, and I'm going to be comparing this to the NSPCC donation page. One of the codes and conventions that I used from the NSPCC in particular that I looked at especially when I was researching was the single donation and the regular donation. In a survey that I conducted, many people said that they thought that this was an extremely good element. So on my donations page I included both a monthly donation and a single donation, which it proved to be very successful in my audience research. However, the way that I've set up the page is a lot different from the NSPCC. For example, they have a link that you have to click on to get onto single donations and regular donations, whereas mine is side by side. However, again, I have used different conventions. For example, there are photos. They have the navigation bar at the top all the way through, which I have here as well. Also, in every corner of the page, they have the NSPCC sign. In every page of mine, I have my logo, and I also have got the number so that it is memorable. The next page is the About Us page, and on the NSPCC, they haven't actually got an About Us page, but they have a What We Do, which is pretty similar. About the NSPCC is in a link, and they have many different links as about what they do, whereas I don't have that. But on one of the About Us pages, they have got a photo, like I've got a photo here. They've also got a photo. They have about the way they work. I have about how the foundation was set up. I haven't got as much writing as I didn't want to overwhelm my audience. However, they have got quite a lot of writing, but they have also got bullet points as well, so it's not as overwhelming either. Again, the navigation bar, they have links down the side, whereas I don't have any links down the side. And then the final page is the help and advice page. The NSPCC do have a help and advice page, which is where I got it from. They have got worried about a child, so it's for people who aren't sure about whether or not the child is being abused and they're just worried about them. Here I have suspect somebody is being abused. This is a convention that I use, as I thought it was very good to include something that wasn't just for abused children, because not always abused children can speak out. So I thought that was a very good link. Also about helping the community and different things that they do. The NSPCC is a lot more general than my website, which is why I decided to only include about my website and specifically about abuse. Yeah. One way in which I developed my website based on what I saw in my website was I asked a lot of people and referred back to audience feedback. Here is an example of a post that I posted on the 8th of November. It was asking people about my logo because I created several different logos and I was unsure as to which one to use. There was that one, which is a very basic version of my logo now, which I obviously took and developed based on what people had told me and what they liked about it. These logos down here are different logos that I tested out. The logo that I decided at the beginning was very simple, and I needed something to really draw attention to it, which is why I added a photo into it, which really developed my website. And I wouldn't have been able to do that unless I didn't do any audience research. Another way I developed it was doing research about child abuse statistics, so that I could include statistics on my website and also on my video to really emphasise the point I was making about how serious child abuse is. I also got them from a range of different sources so that I could be sure that my statistics were 100% correct and I didn't give my audience any false information. Here's a survey that I created using a software called SurveyMonkey, which was basically asking about what my customer were looking for in a website so that I could refer back to it throughout making my website and look at what my target audience wanted. One way in which I challenged the codes and conventions of a media product was particularly based on colour. As you can see, the NSPCC is very green, bright. They have a very purpley green colour scheme going on. And it's a very bright, happy charity, much as I saw with Save the Children and other websites like this. The reason that I decided to do it a lot more darker and sincere was to really make an impact on somebody and highlight that the issue isn't happy and bright as these websites are showing. All the people in it are smiling, all the children are happy. And this was very a common trend, really. And generally the videos seem to be a complete contrast to this, but on the actual website there's very happy children. And the only way that I included in my website, the only place that I could included somebody smiling was in my logo, as this showed that my website made a difference to the people, and it connotes hope as she's looking towards a light. It shows that our charity does help people, but the actual issue at hand with the children being abused is a very real issue, and it's a very horrible issue to have to deal with. So showing children happy and bright all the time really didn't seem much like a good message to give out, as I believe that it should shock people into being interested in your campaign.